Hey everybody, good morning. It's Rob. Joe Biden has just announced that he is lifting the ban enacted via executive order back in 2017 by Trump, banning transgender Americans from being in the military, subjecting transgender people who were already in the military to being discharged and prohibiting transgender people from joining the military. And of course, the Chuds are freaking out. And there's really no legitimate reason to be against transgender people in the military except that you don't like transgender people. And obviously, there's major civil rights issues with barring a group of people from joining the American military just because another group of people kind of finds them icky and doesn't like them or whatever. Now, I've seen a few chuds bring up some what they believe to be valid points, but they're not valid points at all. The most ridiculous one is I'm seeing chuds saying that this is going to lead to transgender women raping cisgender women because they're stationed with them in the barracks and such. First of all, there's already an epidemic of sexual assault and harassment in our military, and it's coming from cisgender men against cisgender women. And the right doesn't give a fuck about that at all. They're not doing anything. They when this issue is brought up, they often go into sexist tirades and claim that it's not really as big of a problem as it's being made out to be. Though, even if it happens a few times a year, that's a big problem. Women shouldn't join the military and be subject to that type of abuse. The second thing I'm seeing is some chuds saying, hey, the typical whataboutism, like, doesn't Biden have other more important things to worry about? First of all, didn't Trump have more important things to worry about back in 2017 when he, signed this order into law? Second of all, it takes, a few seconds with a pen to sign the order to overturn this. It's not exactly some, huge, labor-intensive thing to reverse a dumb rule that Trump signed into law. And then the other thing, I'm actually seeing some people say, they should be focused on, ending our wars and the financial crisis in the country. Well, that's dumb because opening up jobs to hundreds of thousands, a few million, I don't know the exact number of transgender people in America that are of age to join the military, but that's opening up a lot of jobs to these people that previously they either had to not consider or had to completely hide their identities in order to go into the military. And then as far as the wars, well, obviously that's ridiculous because if you want to have a strong and successful military, you need to recruit people. I think more and more people are not being recruited into the military because they realize that fighting for a system that essentially doesn't give too much of a shit about them maybe isn't the best course of action. But there are still good reasons to join the military. And if people want to join the military, they should have that right to join the military as long as, they're of age, they're, they pass the physical required to be in the military. So it's just more belly aching from the right about something that really comes down to their desire to oppress and marginalize an entire group of people just based on their kind of personal dislike of that group of people. And it just really falls into the usual right-wing habit of wanting to punch down. So instead of looking at structural problems with society that are difficult and hard to reconcile and to fight against, conservatives just kind of they look for opportunities to punch down at groups of people who are marginalized or oppressed in our society because it makes them feel better about themselves, and that's what's going on here. So, if you have a problem with transgender people, that's your prerogative, but it shouldn't be the basis upon which policy is enacted. There's zero legitimate arguments against allowing transgender Americans into the military. There just aren't. There are no legitimate arguments. Anytime someone tries to make what they feel is a legitimate argument, it's immediately transparent that their real argument is just, I don't like transgender people. So, get over it. Get the fuck over it. There's going to be transgender people, not only in the military, but in all facets of society. And it's a good thing that society is moving towards greater acceptance of these people. Because transgender people have been around since the dawn of time. It's not some new phenomenon. And their lives should not be negatively impacted just because a bunch of chuds have some kind of weird hang up about it.